Hello everyone. So welcome to Tea with Ravi. In this session, let us go through some of the updates from the Atlassian ecosystem. And this week, there are actually quite a lot of updates. Not really a lot, but still, there are some significant updates. And as always, I will try to limit this session, this video, this podcast within 15 minutes so that you can have your tea, morning tea, and of course, you can learn about these wonderful updates. Now, the first update is about the hackathon. Now, Atlassian organizes this, they run this annual hackathon, and each year they have a theme. And this year's theme is about Atlassian intelligence. So, yes, we all know and we are all aware of virtual agent and AI based improvements in JSM. I'm of course trying to learn more about it. I mean, of course, when these features are released for everyone, we will of course be using it. But as a consultant, my responsibility, my job, and also I want to make sure that I also know how these things work. So this year's theme is about AI, and if you are a developer, if you are working for a company and you have some time, or if your company allows you, then I highly recommend you to, of course, participate in this hackathon. And the app that you will have to build, of course, the focus is around AI and also Atlassian Forge. We have been building Atlassian Forge based app. Unfortunately, we won't be taking part in this hackathon because we hardly get time, which is again a good thing for us. But when you have to build something and when you have to participate in such hackathons, you can actually learn a lot. So if it is possible for you to find some time from your schedule, then I think you should. And of course, there are a lot of benefits. You will learn about these things. It is always fun to build something. At the same time, there are some cash prizes. And I think if you are building something, whether you win or not, you can always convert that idea into an actual app. I know a lot of these apps, or a lot of popular apps, were actually started as such hackathons. So do take a look at this hackathon, Codegeist Unleashed 2023 from Atlassian. The next update is again on the lines of virtual agent and Atlassian intelligence for, of course, Jira service management. Now, from time to time, Atlassian and I believe their product managers or maybe their marketing team or someone from Atlassian will organize some kind of a session. They call it as Atlassian Ask Me Anything, so AMA. So if you are thinking of using virtual agent and Atlassian intelligence for JSM, maybe you just want to learn about it, maybe you are considering, maybe you have more questions, or maybe you're just curious, I think you should definitely consider participating in this AMA. The next AMA for AI for JSM is happening on 11th of October. I will definitely try if I can attend, but I believe it is like a win-win situation for both you guys because you have something to learn. At the same time, you can see whether these updates will potentially help you if you're a customer, or maybe you're just a customer. But it is also very important for Atlassian, I guess, because they learn about these things by talking to their potential customers. For example, if I join this session, I'll probably ask something about how I can potentially use it, and that particular question or feedback, whatever, will definitely help Atlassian. So I think wherever possible, we should try to give feedback to Atlassian, and I think this AMA session would be definitely super useful. Again, the next update is about JSM. So I know, and I'm quite happy that there are significant updates, improvements, additions to Jira service management. Of course, virtual agent, artificial intelligence, but this time the update is about SLA goals. So to explain how this update will help you. So it is about increased SLA goal capacity in projects. So when you create different goals in your SLAs, basically you are using like JQL. And let us say you have 5 different goals with different JQLs, and let us say you are using priority. Priority is equal to high, then the goal is 2 hours. Priority is equal to, medium, then the goal is probably 20 hours, whatever. So the thing is that what can happen after this update when it goes live, I guess eventually, because right now it is still earlier access program, and I think Atlassian is probably inviting maybe few people or few customers, and I guess only 15, but it is good to know that this is coming up. So basically what will happen, you will be able to, I watched the video, by the way, there is also a video on this page. So you will be able to basically group your different goals based on priority. So basically if you have like 5 different JQLs with priority, high, medium, low, whatever, you can actually group it by priority. So you can just say in your goal that priority is equal to this, and rest of the JQL will probably stay the same. And I guess this in a way will help you reduce the number of goals. Basically you can have more goals eventually. So this is really good. Again, it is not like groundbreaking, like extraordinary update, but these small things, these small improvements are really important, because we as a customer, as a consultant, we can actually support our use cases, or basically in this case, because we are talking about SLA goals, and it is important to have SLA goals because that is why people use Jira Service Management. And I think this update will definitely help a lot of customers if you have a lot of goals, especially in big organizations. The next update is about Atlassian Analytics. Now, this is something which I'm not massively happy about, not the update, but Atlassian Analytics in general. Now, for some reason, I never really got access to any Atlassian Analytics to basically play with it, because I am a consultant. I, of course, manage few Jira instances for my customers, but I believe Atlassian Analytics is only limited to enterprise, which I think it is probably wrong, because Jira reporting is, although it is good, but it is substandard, if you know what I mean. We always have to rely on something like EasyBI or some other app. For example, we do at Sparksys, we do a lot of work around reporting, apart from of course Scriptr, but reporting is also one of our like niche or expertise, and reporting is always needed because people want to know what is happening, and people rely on those reports. I know that if you don't really have useful up-to-date data in Jira, then reports will not really help. But at the same time, when we roll out Jira for new customers, we try, of course, we try to make sure that people are able to use the tool. The adoption is very important, but at the same time, because Jira in a way also management or people who are responsible for signing the check, they want to know what is happening. And reporting is and has always been, and it will always be an important aspect. Now, when it comes to Atlassian Analytics, although I don't have access, so I can't really give you my feedback on how it will work. But basically, what you can do by reading this, by the way, I do like read these things. You will be able to bring in data from Google Sheets and then use it along with your Jira data. And this is something that we do actually with EasyBI. So using EasyBI, you can of course report on data from Jira, but you can also report from data that you can import using REST API, which is again a bit of a pain, but it works if you know what you're doing. And in most cases, what we do, we normally just use a Google App script to pull data from somewhere, and then update the sheet, and that sheet is imported in EasyBI. Just to give you some example, let us say you're building some financial reports. Now, when you're building some financial reports, your Jira data would be basically the amount of time that you log, right? Or maybe the original estimate field. Now, you want to maybe bring in rates from Tempo, or you may want to bring rates from some other tool. So you can do that with EasyBI. Again, it is not it's not obvious, it is not straightforward, not everyone can do it. And of course, that is where we as a consultant can help. But the idea is that EasyBI can report, and you can actually combine data from multiple sources. It works if you know what you're doing. So there are some limitations, but it kind of works. And I guess you can do something similar using Google Sheets connector, I guess, whatever it is. I don't know how it works, but basically you will be able to bring in data from Google Sheets. And of course, hopefully in future, few other tools. And again, I haven't really tried. I've seen how not Google, but Atlassian Analytics works, but I need to try it. I'm looking forward to try it. Hopefully soon, maybe in 6 months or 6 years. Who knows? All right. The last thing is, of course, video of the week. And this time I want to talk about this video, which I made, I think, yesterday or day before yesterday. Basically, the idea is that it is possible and it is very easy to show all the issues, including subtasks, within an epic. And those issues and subtasks could be from multiple projects. So it is actually very simple. You just need to use JQL, but not many people know how to do it. And in this video, I explained. I also explained how you can create like a consolidated board. So once you have built this JQL, which is showing everything from, let us say, those epics or epic, then you can use that information somewhere on the board. And you can actually, because in the on the board, you can actually have like a subtask as well. Now, of course. So this is good because you as a manager, maybe you want to know what is happening in my epic, but if you're using or if you're relying on the timeline view of Jira software, then unfortunately timeline view is only going to show you what is happening within that particular project. It won't really show you stories from other projects, because that can happen. That actually usually happens because one epic can have multiple stories from multiple projects. But using a simple JQL, you can actually first build this JQL or a filter, and then you can use the filter to build a report, or I should say a consolidated Kanban board. So it is, of course, not really the ultimate solution, but it is a solution. And I explained this in this video. And that is it. Today I covered everything in 12-ish minutes, and I hope you enjoyed watching to this Atlassian updates video, and you also learned something. And by the way, this video is also a podcast, so if you go to Spotify or Google Podcast, you will find these weekly sessions, so you can actually listen to these sessions when you're traveling or maybe when you're having your tea. All right, that is it for today's session. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and podcast, listening to this podcast, and you also learned something new. Thank you very much. Bye bye.